Okay, today's video is out in the front yard in the circle, and I'm holding this up with my hands, so it's going to be a funny 10 minutes. There were just too many people in the house and too much noise, so I just came out here. And I'm still in Ochre Walls, Course in Miracles video, and today what I got prompted with was a person saying that they definitely do not believe that they're a dream figure. They feel very real, very solid, and if they were to drop a 24-ounce can of tomato juice on their foot, on their toe, they would really definitely feel it, and they probably even get a fracture, right? So, then what is the Course talking about when, I just looked it up a second ago, that it says the word dream 357 times, and it says the word illusion 335 times. So I think there's something that is just not like a joke about that. There's some reason why, if you want to say Jesus wrote this course and said it in the mind to Helen, and if Jesus is all of us and Helen is all of us, it's coming from the right mind. If it was to say all of those types of words so many times, again, like I said, it's not really, it's not goofing around. So how is it that I came to believe that there's a dream figure, but I'm not it, and there's a dream illusion world, and I'm not in it? How did this come about? I was going to do some videos on the phases of the Course and the different phases that I see most people go through. And you could tell right away by what people say and what they're believing at that time, kind of like what phase that they're in. All the phases super important, no phase less than another. There's just no judgment at all of any of that kind of stuff. Let's see. Oh, I don't know if I could hold this up better. My arm's already getting tired, right? So anyway, and for years now, all I've talked about is how to do the forgiveness process. The forgiveness process is looking at our thoughts all day long. It's the only way that I could say, I could say a bunch of metaphysical things, about, how we first thought of this idea and how that it's impossible. So it was answered in a tiny millisecond and never really happened. And now we're just at the end of it reviewing merely in the mind that which has already gone by as if for the first time. So it's a movie that's already filmed, and that is what the illusion is, and that's what the dream world is. So, you can say all those metaphysical things, but it doesn't help you to feel that. When the can drops on your toe, it still fractures, right? It still hurts. And so the only secret I found was to do this forgiveness process that is on page 401 of the workbook, which said it's like a little interim thing in between workbook lessons. And it says, what is forgiveness? That's its title. So in this, what is forgiveness, on page 401 of the workbook, it talks about the look, wait, and judge not. That's that little famous section about how that we are going to be looking and waiting and not judging. So what does this mean? This I took seriously about maybe 8 or 9 years ago and just started doing that only. And just looking at my thoughts day and night, even in dreams at night, dreams during the day, literally, and everything, every upset, everything that seemed to happen as a character, Sue-Ann, also called a hero of the dream, the Course calls it. So I just kept looking and looking and noticing that when I would look, I would be above the battleground. I would feel that. I would feel less intensely involved in the upset that I'd been experiencing just a little while before. And of course, at first, I had to wait till the end of the day when it was quieter, and then I would remember things during the day and kind of look at them in my mind. And so this looking, what it means by having no judgment is you don't answer the questions. It's just very deep wonderings of what am I seeing? Who do these thoughts belong to? I'm having all sorts of thoughts. A lot of times I feel out of control of them, my reactions to things, and I do them over and over again in patterns. Certain things seem to happen in my life. This other person talked about, of course, the deterioration of the body, and all those things that happen, right? So, sickness, ill health, good health, vacations, jail, all kinds of things, right? So as one is looking at all these thoughts, it begins to reel it back in. Thank you, David Hoffmeister, because he brought up that idea of you're going to be reeling your thoughts in from this projection that appears as, God, this is shaky, sorry about that. But as you're appearing to be out in a world, as a body in a world, and then you're slowly bringing yourself back. You will bring it back to the body, and then it will go like to the mind. Not that there is back and there's directions, right? But that is just what it seems as if happens. So pretty soon you're not really looking out, and you're not really even calling things real. You're just looking at your reaction. You know, like if I went back there and touched those bricks back here, they've been in the Texas sun all day, like they're going to be really hot. They're going to like start to burn my hands, right? So it's looking at the burning. You don't go do that on purpose, of course, but as things are happening, then you begin to realize it's your reaction to pain and upset. And the more you go back, you will finally find like the bottom of the whole thing. It is just a terrible, awful feeling that is nondescript and has really nothing to attach it to. And then you'll even sometimes see yourself like have that horrible feeling come and then quickly attach it to something. And you will see how instantly that happens. So this trick that's happened is that like this horrible feeling that we've left God then projects out into a body and then a world. And we say it's those things out there are the problem. Now, this is like straight up Course, right? If all you have read the Course, done the workbook lessons, this is all just straight up metaphysics of A Course in Miracles. So how do you eventually realize that you're not any of that, right? So which is the goal of the Course, which is peace of mind, the right mind, the decision maker. Ken Wapnick had coined it the decision-making mind. So how does one even get to that point? So as you're looking and you're looking and you're looking some like million times, right? Over, I don't know, between 2 and 12 years of different people on their journey. I've heard those years, that kind of timeline. I don't know. I don't like to put timelines to it. But as you're doing it, you begin to realize, again, like you said, that you're somehow above the battlefield, and you are not the things that you're upset about. And then you begin to sort of turn around and wonder, who is it this has been looking, this decision-making mind? Who is this that has been watching and looking all of this drama, like a very crafted novel that, like with many chapters of one's life. And again, like one person brought up today, like the ending chapters of the book of the dream character usually has a failing body, right? Okay, so does all that disappear? It does not disappear. Although it disappears, the universe, that book would say it does. But your attention upon it is less and less. So from that standpoint, it disappears. But it's a story playing out for like basically whoever wants to come in the movie theater and watch it. And everybody is just in the seats and they're not actually in the movie. But we tricked ourselves into feeling that in order to have our own experience that is separate from God. So that would be, again, the metaphysics of it. So what happens is as you begin to just see all these reactions, you begin to realize they're not even your reactions. They're not even your thoughts. They're not even your feelings, because there's this thing that's watching it that is not any of that. So as you begin to turn around and then get to know that, the real self, the real you, as I call it, then you will know that it always had been a dream figure. You don't hate the dream figure. You're not trying to leave the dream figure. It's just not of consequence, right? So all kinds of things happen for the dream figure still. So you can walk through the day. You see the happy world, meaning that you're not in it. So it's somewhat like watching a movie, so that you're never affected by it in that deep way of entering the dream. Sometimes they even talk about the video games, like you've made a video game and now you enter in the character and you forget that you're actually just sitting in the chair. So this is the experience that begins to happen with this type of looking for a diligent, vigilant time period. And it is accepting the atonement for yourself, because you end up realizing how you made the world, what you made it with, why you made it, and then you can actually control whether you think you're in it or not. Otherwise, it's just a haphazard thing. Sometimes you will have an aha moment and feel lifted out of time and space, but sometimes you don't even know how you got there. Oh, we're right at 10 minutes. Okay, so that's the end of this one, and more to come tomorrow.